You ever have neighbors who think your property is theirs to use? Well, that was my life for months. I bought a house in what was supposed to be a quiet, well-managed neighborhood. Instead, I ended up with an HOA that believed they owned every inch of my land, including my driveway. First, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe someone's guest parked there by accident. But when it kept happening every single weekend, I knew it wasn't coincidence. I politely asked my neighbors to stop, even left notes on their cars. The HOA president, a smug man named Carl, told me I had too much unused space and that the community had agreed my driveway would serve as overflow parking. Excuse me, my property is not communal. When I pushed back, they laughed. It often kept doing it. One Saturday morning, I woke up to find 3 cars boxed into my driveway, 2 of which weren't even from my street. Enough was enough. I called the police, who told me since it was private property, I had every right to have the vehicles towed. That's when I got an idea. If they wanted to treat my driveway like a public parking lot, I'd treat their cars like abandoned property. I had every vehicle towed and impounded, filing paperwork declaring them unauthorized. And here's the kicker: state law allowed me to place liens on the cars to recover towing and storage costs, which meant, after the holding period, I legally owned them. Carl and the other HOA members went ballistic when they realized their precious SUVs and sedans were no longer theirs. They threatened lawsuits, but the law was airtight on my side, so I held a public auction. 12 people showed up, waving cash, eager to get a deal. Watching Carl's face turn red as his beloved Lexus sold for a fraction of its value was delicious. By the end of the day, I had a pocket full of money and 0 HOA cars clogging my driveway. The HOA called an emergency meeting, trying to rewrite their bylaws to prevent this from happening again, but it was too late. They had already learned the hard way that my property is my property. Strangely enough, ever since that auction, not a single car has touched my driveway. It's funny how quickly people learn respect when their arrogance costs them thousands of dollars. So if your HOA ever thinks they can walk all over your member, the law is often on your side. Sometimes you just need to hit them where it hurts most, their wallets. For more interesting and heart-touching stories, hit the subscribe button now.